जहां बनते हैं देश के गौरव, इंडिया का एकमात्र ऐसा कोचिंग इंस्टीट्यूट जहां कैडेट्स को ट्रेन किया जाता है आने वाले डिफेंस एग्जाम के अनुसार। अगर आपका भी सपना है भारतीय सेना में शामिल होकर देश की सेवा करने का, तो आज ही ज्वाइन करें त्रिशूल डिफेंस एकेडमी।
In your opinion, what is the most contributory factor? A. Male-female ego. B. Work compulsion. C. Women liberation. I would again repeat the topic. The number of divorce cases amongst the Indian couples are on the rise. In your opinion, what is the most contributory factor? A. Male-female ego. B. Work compulsion. C. I am changing the point. C would be Western countries' influence. Western countries' influence. I hope the topic is understood by everybody.
Yes, sir.
Do you want me to repeat the topic once more? The number of divorce cases amongst the Indian couples are on the rise. In your opinion, what is the most contributory factor? A. Male-female ego. B. Work compulsion. C. Western countries' influence. Please start.
So very on the rise. That's why the people get influenced by it.
In my opinion, the main reason for the increasing divorces is the work compulsion, as both the partners are working and don't get much time to spend with each other, which increases problems. And also due to their jobs, they get the hectic schedule. They get more irritated, and the frustration also increases, due to which they lead to fights and hence divorce.
Gentlemen, if we will look to US or UK, there the divorce cases are normal for the people living there. So because of which the people of India are getting influenced. It is, if we talk about the in 90s or 80s of India, then divorce cases were not so much. If there were any problem among the people, they could resolve it in the family only. But nowadays, the divorce has become easy for them because of the influenced by the Westerners. The what they think, what they do is greatly influencing the Indians. So this is the reason for me why the Indians are getting divorced so much easily nowadays.
I agree with question number 19, as we can see that
let me complete my point.
as
So
we can
after
see that in the
liberty
Western countries
we
as
know
well as in
that
the US,
women
the
are
cases
treated
of
as
divorce are
subordinate
pretty
to
common.
men.
As there, that if there is a little bit of complexity between the couples, they basically give divorce to each other. But as we see in the India, as before some time it was not so common, but nowadays people are so influenced by the Western countries as well as from the US, that if they both are not disagree with any point in both of them, they take a divorce, as like if they can find a better partner or something like else.
Collective fraternity. So women nowadays, women are educated due to Western effect. So women try to be equal with the men, and they want equal cooperation from their husband and their partner. So, but nowadays, in Indian society, the male even treated women like subordinates. So this conflict led to the divorce cases in India.
Friends,
Very
I
well
would
said.
like to add a point that shifting in the mindset from Indian to Western cultures, and like we are shifting from joint families to nuclear families, and most of the rural population is shifting to the urban cities and metropolitans, and this also is creating a huge change in the mindset, and in decrease in the cooperation and cooperation level in between people. This also is increasing to more divorce cases in the country.
Women and male and female. So I think that Western culture influence more to increasing in divorce.
I also want to add one more point, that in the UN Health and Family Welfare document that was published, earlier time India had very less divorce cases, but now they are on the rise. The westernization is the main influence. Earlier India was a great example of human relations and family relations, but now all the relations have deteriorated. What is the reason for it? The westernized influence, their culture, the women getting independent and realizing the bonds of the society. So I think that Western culture is the main factor why divorce cases in India are on the rise.
And less time for cooperate with their partnership. So this also lead to conflict between their family members. So I think this is also one of the cause for divorce cases in India, because this concept comes from the by the Western influence.
Well said by just number 47. As we have seen in the foreign countries, their divorcing someone, your partner, is not a big deal. Whereas in India, in the 80s or 90s, the divorce cases were not so much. But recently, the cases are increasing day by day. And this because of the Westerners, what they have influenced our country. Then because of this, the divorce cases are increasing in our country.
They depict lifestyles very differently. They depict sexual desires very differently, and it is not there in our society, and that is creating a major mindset shift in our minds, and is thus influencing us differently, and this is also leading to more divorce cases in the country.
Their life and
Very well said. Let's hear what others have to say.
In my opinion, Western countries also influence our society, and Indian people want to live Western culture. So I think Western culture is influence diverse cases in India more.
As Rashid said by just number 9, I would like to add more point that due to westernization, they live in individual society, but in our
Take it as easy as just ending up like girlfriend or boyfriend.
like to take example of Mamata Banerjee, Mayawati, Jayalalitha. They are not married. If they marry, they take the divorce. So this also make the role model for the women that if we are in single, then we can achieve what we want. So I think this is also one of the main factors.
As we can see in USA and Western countries, the love marriages are mostly common in there. As we can see, mostly the 20s and mostly early 20s, the couple get married at that time, without even knowing for more than 5 or 6 years. Just if they met someone, if they're 2 or 3 months, they get married. But as we see in India, it used to be arranged marriage. The first persons used to meet each other and they get to know more about them. But as now the time are changing, more people in India are also influenced to love marriage as we compare to the Western country. They are all influenced by those things. So sometimes people may get divorced because of those also.
Yes, very well said, chess number 14. I would like to
Chalo,
add
back
one
up,
more point.
back up. Good. Who is more responsible for deteriorating law and order in our country? A. Police. B. Politicians. C. Countrymen. Please start.
Gentlemen, I want to tell that the people who the politicians basically are the reasons for they are violating our law and order in the country. Recently, we can see in the COVID period when the whole country was going through the phase of lockdown, still there was election conducted and the rallies was conducted there, and by which the cases of that places were not shown. But data of the cases were not shown to people, and was said that there is no corona cases in that area. But it was a false statement given by the government, and that is the reason politicians mostly the politicians breaks the law and order of the country.
I would like to add one more point to just number 14. In my opinion, I think that it is the countrymen who are mainly responsible for maintaining the law and order of a country. As Franklin D. Roosevelt has well said, that any society is defined by the people that are living inside it. Of course, if we are aware about our duties and obligations towards the society, we can say that we are wholly responsible for upholding the law and order of a country. So I think that countrymen are the main cause for the deteriorating cases and the laws in India.
Very well said by just number 16. I also agree that countrymen are the most responsible for deteriorating a country's rules and regulations. As we can see, the people mostly throw, as we compare to India, people mostly throw the wastage and other things right on the road. As we can see, they are throwing glass bottles and other from their windows of cars. Also, they are spitting pan masalas and other on the roads, which are also rules and regulations. But as we see in that COVID one, there are many people who were going out during the lockdown without any mask. It also deteriorating the laws, and as also we can see, if they want to do something for any passing something in the court or other things, they all provide money for the lawyer to get that to make it work fast in the court.
I want to add one more point to chest number 14, that the politicians, what they basically do COVID norms during that time. So they are basically politicians, they make rules and norm, and they make rules, law and order for the society, but they are the one who break it. So
I would like to correct you that
I agree
politicians
with
don't make the
Mr.
laws.
As well
It is the
explained by
legislator who makes
14
the
and
law.
16, I think
Then,
the countrymen, this is the countrymen, only they are responsible for breaking up the law and rule regulation in the country, because they are aware about their fundamental right and fundamental duty. So why they are not questioning if someone doing wrong? So I think the countryman is responsible for that. It is their duty to question everyone and do not let anyone allowed to misbehave and break the law.
Parliament have going criminal cases against them, and political parties also support these people. As
Friends,
of
I would like
we
to state
consider
that
about
in my
the,
opinion,
corona, then,
policemen are
corona
also
cases
responsible
like in
for the
Bengal, we saw that
increasing
during the
corruption in the
elections,
country, because the country already has many laws and orders, but they are not actually enforced and implemented properly. If the policemen are actually enforcing the laws and keeping a check on people and the politicians, then I think the corruption would go on decreasing and not otherwise.
I also agree with
I
test
agree
number
with test number
31.
10, and I would like to add more points.
Kept under check, they are more liable to make mistakes, and thus if they are policed properly and kept a check on, they will the crimes will decrease. And if they are actually when you see the Western countries, they are charged when they spoil or spoil the property, or just spread or just put any wastage anywhere on the road.
I want to
And
add
if it
one
had
more
been
point
the
to
This is
country
also in India. There are several police helpline numbers which are given to the civilians so that they can report a mistake of a policeman which he
like we
gives.
can see about
Like in the bus services, if a policeman didn't take a
violate this.
But I would like to add more point in chess, as National Civil Chess that the people are the main factor. The common man who provide bribe to politicians, who cherish the politician idea. It is the people who let them allowed to do misbehave. So I think
Yes, I agree with chess number 47. I also want to add one more point, that it is the people who determine the law and order of a country. If they are educated, they are carefully aware of their duties, then the laws and orders won't be broken. Just like chess number 10 has given example of Western influence. In Western countries, the literacy rate is high. That's why people don't commit crimes. And if they commit crimes, then police is there. What is required is that our countrymen must be educated. They must be told that about the laws and orders to maintain it. So I think because country is a major group, we have got such a large population. Politician is just a handful number. It is the countrymen which need to be educated and told about their rights and duties, so as to maintain the law and order of the country.
Tell a point to just number 16 that these people during the COVID period are the reason who mostly break the rules.
It's a sexual harassment crime against a woman, and she is not able to actually report it to the policeman because they are not accepting her charges. And actually there are instances when the victim is actually blamed by the police and the FIR is not registered. Is this not corruption on the policeman part? Is this not increasing to the corruption on the country level? So I believe if corrupted policemen are there, corruption will increase from the grassroots levels and lead to the increase in corruption in the country.
Officials can take a note on those policemen who are not taking the case of
better management of rule and regulation in the country. So I think people must need to, people is the main factor who is responsible for breakdown of the rule regulation in the country.
Very well said,
In
chess
my
number
opinion,
47.
politician is the main reason to break the rule. If politician break rule, then how can countrymen follow the rule?
I agree
Because
with chest number 39 that the point to chest number 9 that the people basically they choose the politicians and they are their representative. And the politician will break the law and order, then what will people do?
So I would
They
like
will
to
also
come to
go
a point
with the
that if people choose right politician, then politician govern the country very well. So I think people is the main responsible
I
part.
agree with just number 47, as you said, the people are the most responsible for selecting a person who will be their representative. So how can a person, they can choose who is well from a criminal background and other thing? It is the commoner's right who to choose. If they choose a better person, they will get a better rules and regulations to be followed.
Very well said. Sir.
Politicians also affect the people which are maybe not voting or are possibly dead or something. So this also increases that on the politicians' part that they don't follow the laws and regulations in our country.
I want to change number 25 to give her point of view.
My opinion is on politician is the main reason for this breaking rules, because they're thinking people are not aware about this, because many people try to join politics because there are freedom of making crimes and nobody will tell about them and nobody blame on them because they have a background of a criminal. So nobody try to explain there and nobody try to commit the problems and nobody try to file a complaint. So there is a political power try to use the breaking of law.
As nationally stable. Why? Because here the number of politicians or criminality of politicians increases and people choose the politicians based on their caste, gender, religion. So I think people, it is a main factor, people who decide how their enforcement agency will work. So I think people is the main factor in the parliament of law in the country.
That's why policemen is not trying to attend.
It is not corruption on the part of the policemen, and we see this corruption.
Morning, respectable GTO officer and my friends. I'm Amitabh Gupta, chest number 9. I'm going to represent my view over women empowerment.
Good morning, GTO sir and my dear friends. I, Harsimar Kaur Makan, chest number 10. I'm here to speak on how can we improve IndoPak relations. So, as we are all aware that the Indo-Pak relations have not been good for a very long time, ever since partition of India since 1947 and with various wars as in 69 war, and 71 war, and the relation between India and Pakistan has been deteriorating. And it is also increasing with ceasefire violations with a very long time. But as neighbors, I firmly believe that we should be working on improving our relations so that the two countries have more grow hand in hand and actually create Southeast Asian region stronger together. So the ways we can improve on improving the relation is, I believe, by increasing the trade relations between the country. Also, I believe the Kartarpur corridor was a very good attempt by the two countries to bring the people of the two countries together. As we see that after partition, the two countries people are not able to come and go to each other's country. And the people that have been living in Punjab in India and Punjab and Sindh in Pakistan are actually not go back to their homes. So if the countries allow visas for the individuals in both the countries and create security personnel so that they can actually come and go in each other countries. So this will increase, improve the relations between the people which are living very close by and yet so far away from each other.
Please conclude.
So I believe that the government of India will take actions and is taking actions like the Kartarpur corridor, which brought the two people together, the two countries people together, and the trade relations will increase between the countries, and relations of the two countries with the superpowers of the country is also improving. Thank you.
And gentlemen, I am chest number 14 here to represent a lecturate on is it too early for India to have bullet trains. As we call the bullet trains, what are bullet trains? Bullet trains are that part of railways which are more capable of traveling farther distance and short period of time. They are capable of more than 250 kilometers per hour of speed. But what are the things which are lacking in India to have bullet trains at this time? As there are several points, like infrastructure, technology, manpower, and the economy. As we call for the technology, the making of bullet trains will cost a lot of new type of technologies. As we can see in Japan, they have a better lineup of developing them and maintaining them. But as we see in India, that kind of is not good. As we can, there are several trains which are more than 20 or 30 years old, still running, and the tracks are not still capable of making trains go further than 80 kilometers of speed. How they are capable of making of trains which move with a speed of 250 kilometers per hour? And going for the manpower, bullet trains will take a lot of lot of expenses to maintain them, and also the manpower to repair them also. If we see, if India can achieve this thing in next 5 or 10 years, if they cooperate with Japan and also cooperate with Japan to have work together to form bullet trains, and they are making plants in India. Also, they can cooperate with private companies to start building and developing bullet trains, and they are deploying railway tracks all over the India for them. And also, it will need to encourage people to move further, to not to disturb railway tracks, so that if trains are moving from there, so people now don't go to the tracks for seeing them other things. Like today we see people are crossing railway tracks even if the doors are closed, and which leads to a lot of accidents. Also, it caused economic damage as well as life damage to the people, also to the government. In conclusion, I can say that India can achieve this thing in next few years if they work cooperatively with private companies and other countries which have developed that. Also, if they encourage people to what are the needs to make them work. And thank you. Jai Hind.
Dear sir and my dear friends, today I, Arnav Dwivedi, chess number 16, is going to present my views on the topic cashless economy. Is India ready for it? So first, let's talk about the introduction part. What is cashless economy? It is a type of economy in which the physical form of money is given less representation as compared to the digital form. In cashless economy, there is increased use of digital sources of money like credit cards, debit cards, net banking, etc. So, let us talk about the merits of cashless economy. What would happen if our economy turns cashless? So, the first thing is cost effectiveness. Of course, the money required for printing a large number of currency note is quite large. So, if the digital economy is introduced, cashless methods are used, then that would lead to a greater reduced in cost. So, that would really help India. Apart from that, the cashless economy also helps in a lot of ways. The transaction takes place without any constraint. If we move out to another country, we can make the changing in the from rupees to dollars hassle-free. So, cashless economy has got a lot of benefits with it. Talking about the Indian context, India seems a little way ahead in the step towards cashless economy. The digital literacy is also low because most of the population living in India is in the rural area. So, digital literacy is one factor. Apart from that, the less availability of devices is another such factor. So, how can we improve? Of course, nothing is impossible. India can achieve such milestone. If Scandinavian countries and the West can improve, why can't we us? So, that we should, to promote cashless economy, the digital literacy must be introduced, awareness camps must be taken place, the whole mass should be make aware about its benefits. So that conclusively, I would say that cashless economy has a greater future in India. We must launch awareness campaign, promote the people to use cashless methods so as to develop India. That's all. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Pandey, chess number 18, and my today's topic is agriculture in India and subsidies, problems and challenges. As we all know that India is an agriculture based country. We have almost 60% people who are directly or indirectly involved in agriculture. Now the problems which we are facing in agriculture these days are mainly the supply of water in in farms, like the people the farmers do not have the access to electric pumps, wells, due to which the water sources, due to lack of water, the farms and the produce are affected a lot. Also, the farmers do not have access to the scientific methods, like they cannot test if their farms lack in a particular nutrient like phosphorus and nitrogen, which which play a greater role in the produce. Also, we can also the produce are not being taken care properly, like a lot of produce is kept at one place and is affected by the rains and the rats, etc. This problem also needs to be solved. Problem also needs to be solved, as the government can create the godowns to store these produce, these produce, and so that these can be used for a longer period of time, and a lot of industries are also based on agriculture produce.
Please
like
conclude.
Concluding, I would like to say that India still lacks a lot in agricultural produce, and thank you. Jai Hind.
Respected GTO sir and all my dear friends, today I, Ayush Rao, chest number 19, is going to represent my views on the topic work-life balance is a myth. What is work? Work is something that a person do to carry out his livelihood for earning. But many people have a myth about it, that due to work they don't get the sufficient time for their other activities like exercising, like spending time with family and friends. But friends, it's just a myth. If you talk about the military personals, they will wake up at 4 AM in the morning. After that, they will do their exercise and drilling. After that, they will go for their work. They will do the work till 5 PM. After that, you will find them in the field, and at night you will find them in the mess with holding their glass in the hand. Friends, it's just a myth. This can be sorted out by exercise. This can be sorted out by proper time management. Many people don't do it, and the lazy ones mostly think that this is just a myth among the people. Mostly the lazy people, they use this to say that it's a myth, that people cannot balance their work as well as their life. Thank you. Jai Hind.
And my respected good morning respected GTO sir and my dear friends. My topic is education after COVID-19. I think there is a very important rule for education. There is no hard study after COVID, because people and children are also thinking about very easily getting marks and getting a very easily education certificate here. So after COVID-19, education system is a very low impact. There are no people understand of understand of education is important. The children are also not understand. That doesn't mean they are not thinking about the hard study, deep study, and not giving importance or previous study, earlier study. Their earlier study is very important to teach their person and try to speak, try to understand our problems and try to use their education knowledge in their work field. But there is very easily children getting very easily points and very easily getting numbers and certificates. So I think there is no education system is very deep in after COVID-19. So I think the education system we need to improve after COVID-19. So conclusion is that we try to follow off try to increase the education. Try to increase education policy is very high, and not to give marks very easily without taking exam, without taking sum of money. So we need to teach the children and their parents also education importance. So thank you. Jai Hind.
Good morning respected GTO sir and my dear friend. I Akash Ghosh, chest number 47, going to deliver lecture on child marriage. Recently, we see that the Union government introduced a bill to increase the marriage age of women from 18 to 21. It started debate whether it reduce child marriage or not. Let's discuss in detail. Let me first explain about what is child marriage. Child marriage basically the marry a girl or boy before their legitimate age. As in India today, the legitimate legal age of girls is 18 years and the legal age of boys is 21 years. But having this law, it didn't reduce the child marriage case. As you take the example in the Rajasthan, in Ocean, there is a place in Ocean, in Jodhpur region, where there is a ritual. If someone died in their home, so they have to marry their small child or boy. Also, we see that in the many tribal areas, they have also ritual too. They have to marry their girl before the 18 years. And one of the survey conducted in 2016 where it showed that among 20 to 24 years of women, they asked that when you married, out of 4, one said that we have married before 18 years of age. So it showed that having already marriage law, but it didn't reduce the. So I like to conclude that the India need to start awareness program and provide vocational training and skills education among the masses so that we can reduce the child marriage. Thank you and Jai Hind.
जहां बनते हैं देश के गौरव, इंडिया का एकमात्र ऐसा कोचिंग इंस्टीट्यूट जहां कैडेट्स को ट्रेन किया जाता है आने वाले डिफेंस एग्जाम के अनुसार। अगर आपका भी सपना है भारतीय सेना में शामिल होकर देश की सेवा करने का, तो आज ही ज्वाइन करें त्रिशूल डिफेंस एकेडमी।